Today we are cooking with packaging and the products in them, of course. Duh. All right, so we have seen this crazy trend over the last several years now for brands to create private label products that aren't just private label products. Like, actually put investment into building a brand that has an identity, that has characteristics to it, and has like well-designed products. And I would say one of the masters of that has been Target, which is why it was really no surprise when going through Target, we stumbled across this Figmint. And this is a line of kitchen products that they've launched that is, it's like 250 products deep. And they're really seeking to do a couple of things. One, with packaging, which is what was so interesting to us, they're seeking to reduce plastic. And we've talked about this before, so this is not anything new. I think they've made some interesting decisions here. They want to get rid of plastic materials like shrink and zip ties and things like that, twist ties, and come up with sustainable alternatives. But I think one of the other interesting things that they did here was that they are making a claim. Let me read this. The retailer worked with occupational therapists to make easy to open packaging and exposed grips and handles, enabling consumers to easily lift and carry the goods while shopping, according to the announcement. We'll put a link to that article. I think they've made some interesting decisions. Let's jump in and take a look, shall we? The first one here, right in the front, is this set of silicone covered spoons. Nice design, cool color palette. I really like what the brand has kind of done overall with their aesthetic. This, like no plastic material in here. They have attached all three of these utensils to this top card with string. And it says, like natural fibers. I don't know if this is just like a cotton string. I don't know what exactly that is. But one interesting thing to me, and this is something that you'll see in several of these products, is that, they're talking about kind of working with people that maybe have limited mobility or dexterity in their hands, that need to carry packaging products easier and open packaging easily. You need scissors to get this open, or you need little tiny fingernails to pick these knots open. They're not crazy, but still, this is not something you're just kind of ripping and pulling open. Moving into these measuring cups, same idea. They've got these things trapped in a little paperboard wrap here that keeps them together, and then they've got them on this little D-ring thing. But they've also tied them together, like a double knotted them together down here at the end, or maybe just a single knot. I can't tell. But anyways, that same thing. You've got to get a little pair of scissors in there. You got to cut that string open to get these things out, or you're picking at that knot. Interesting decision when you're dealing with some of that stuff. This box here is nothing really crazy. This starts to showcase more of the brand, their photography style, their artwork. Really cool palette, beautiful brand. They've done a bang-up job on this brand. And inside of this box, this is a 10-piece cooking utensil set. Inside of this box, more print. This is kind of the only place we see this watercolor look. I'm not sure what that's all about. Is this, all of these utensils, not in plastic, not just thrown in here. They're actually wrapped in like a glassine wrap. And this is something that we've shown in some other videos. Well, I don't think we've super talked about it. Maybe we'll do a video talking just about this material. It's a paper material. It feels like you can feel like tissue. It can kind of get really clear depending on how much it's processed, but it's essentially a fiber-based paper material. It's recyclable like paper. So they've made some interesting decisions there to get stuck. they've made some interesting decisions there in how they've packed all those things up. This one here is probably the most interesting of them because the competition here is largely in like big plastic packs. This is a food chopper. Get back to the chopper. That was stupid. And this thing, you know, they've done some really cool things. They use this paper wrap here to contain it. This is just kind of a folded over thin, like a Z flute, some kind of a micro flute corrugate, nice and durable, rigid. And then they've brought in the same piece of string here again to help tie this thing in here. Probably the only piece that I don't like in all this packaging is the string that they're using and the necessity for scissors. But otherwise, like the brand is awesome, the packaging's great, the products seem pretty cool. These stores keep doing better and better at this private label and building these brands around it. It's impressive. So, love what they've done here. If you've seen another brand that's kind of rocking it with private label packaging, let me know in the comments below, and we'd love to take a look at it. It's a really fun space to keep an eye on. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and get to cooking. Get cooking, let's cook. Get to the kitchen. Get back to the kitchen.